Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM Podcast. My name is Manny Coats, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AMPM Podcast. What's up, guys? Manny Coats here, and today I want to talk about product launches, okay? This is one of those topics where somebody goes into our FBA High Rollers group and they post a message saying, I did a product launch, it no longer works. These product launches with discounted products, giveaways, just don't work anymore, right? And then you got a bunch of people that jump on there, 4 or 5 people say, yeah, they absolutely don't work. That, Amazon no longer allows these things to rank you. Right? You just have one person that says that, a few people jump on, and then everybody's saying it, and then they spread this into other groups. But the reality of the whole thing here is that they work, okay? What people are posting is inaccurate, okay? You've got thousands of people every single month that are doing these kinds of launches, and then you have just a few people where it doesn't work, right? That then say to everybody, these tactics don't work. These strategies of ranking don't work. So I'm going to dive deep into this. We're not going to make this a really long podcast, but I want to go into it and give you guys the reasons why these things typically don't work. Okay. It has nothing to do with the strategy. It usually has to do with the person that's saying it's not working because they're not doing something correctly or they're confused. And I'm just going to give you the data, and then you guys can determine on your own whether you think it works or not. I know it works because I personally used it. I know people that have used it. Unless things have changed in the last 4 or 5 days, it works, right? And I'd give you another example. With all the launch services that are out there, there's businesses that have built their entire business on promotions, right? Getting people to give away units of products every single day in order to rank to the top of page one. And they're doing thousands of people per month, okay? So if suddenly it stopped working, you could imagine all these people that are paying this money, how many people would be posting in the Facebook groups saying, oh my gosh, they're ripoffs. They took my money. It didn't work. There would be hundreds and hundreds of people posting this, and you don't see that. Okay. So it goes to show that there's just a lot of other reasons. So we're going to get into this. So do product launches still work? Yes. How does a product launch work? For those of you that are listening right now and don't know what I'm talking about, typically what you can do, and by the way, we have a blog post on this. We have what's called a CPR launch strategy. Okay. You can get that at helium10.com/CPR. Okay. And there's a whole blog post that I wrote up on how to launch a product, how to get to the top of page one within typically 8 days. All right. So you can read that, and that goes really into detail. There's also, I expanded on that I expanded that blog by writing my experience of launching several new products and how they did really well and where they ended up. And that's at helium10.com/launch. Okay. Launch, LAUNCH. So product launches. Okay. So the process in a simplified way is to get a keyword phrase, the keyword phrase that you want. Okay. Look at how many searches that's getting, or you can use different methods on determining what kind of volume you want to give out. But on the CPR method, if you use a tool like CEREBRO by Helium 10 or Magnet by Helium 10, Magnet now is the tool that I use, and it has columns in there that say giveaways, daily giveaways and total giveaways. So let's just say that my keyword phrase is tactical flashlight. That's what I'm going after. That's exactly my product, right? A tactical flashlight. So I want my keyword to be tactical flashlight. Now let's just say that under the CPR columns, it says that I have to give away 100 units over 8 days, or let's say it's 80 units over 8 days. That'll make it nice and easy for math. That means I would have to give away 10 units per day for 8 days in order to rank potentially, hopefully, to page one. Okay. And hopefully, if everything's right, to the top of page one. Now I'm making these numbers up right now. It could be 800 instead of 80. I don't know what the number is, but the idea is to give away or to get sales, at least 10 sales per day, 8 sales per day. 10 sales per day for 8 days. I want to get 80 sales over an 8-day period for that keyword phrase. That's what the software is saying I need to do. Okay. So in order to ensure that I get that, what I do is I'm either going to use a launch service that has, thousands of people that will buy things at a discount, or I can do Facebook ads. And I did, if you go to the the blog post I did at helium10.com/launch, there's a link on that blog that tells you how to create your Facebook ads and how to do a launch on your own if you don't want to use a service. But essentially, you're discounting your product. You're taking your product and you're creating coupons, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to give this product away. I call it giving it away, but you're discounting with a coupon 80 or 90% off. So instead of it being, $20, it'll be under $2. Okay. And the reason for this is to make it super, I guess, just super appealing. Like, even if I didn't want that product, it's so discounted. If I saw it, I'd be like, man, I'm going to buy, I got this coupon code. I saw it on Facebook. An ad popped up and it said, get this, this cool iPhone charger, right? It's normally $40 and I can get it for $3. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. Even if I don't want it, I'll give it as a gift to somebody. So by buying that, by using those coupon codes, you force people into buying these things. So you're guaranteed to get those 10 sales per day that's needed, or 20 sales, or whatever the number is in that column. Okay. So people can get to wherever they can get to page one using this method, right? And it used to take about 8 days. The algorithms seem to have changed. It's taking a little bit longer for some categories or for some products. We're still seeing good results in 8 days. But what a lot of people are saying now is that it might be a little bit longer. You might have to extend it beyond 8 days, or you might have to give away a few more units per day than what's being displayed. This is for a brand new product. Okay. Now we're going to jump into why people might say, hey, it doesn't work. I've been running these giveaways. They call them giveaways, right? Because you're giving 90% off on these products, these coupons, to drive sales. So somebody says, and I'll go through the list here. One of the reasons is that people respond too quickly, too early. They're like, you know what? I've been doing this. It's 4 days. I'm not seeing any kind of rank change, right? So they're tracking, they take their keyword, they plug it into Keyword Tracker on Helium 10. So they know exactly where they're ranking initially. Let's say they're ranking in position 100. And then they're going to track it. And by day 4, right, they're like, I haven't moved. I've been giving away, all these units every single day, and I haven't moved. Okay, the problem with that is that the way the algorithm works, it doesn't always update that quickly. Okay, you're typically not going to see an update in 3 or 4 days. Sometimes it can take 6, 7 days before you see a spike, okay, where it jumps. So suddenly you'll be in position 100 and then you'll be in position 3. It's like a big jump. It's not like a linear where smooth every single day it moves up. That would be nice, but it doesn't work that way. Amazon's doing some kind of averaging of sales. Maybe it does it every 5 or 6 days or something, but you'll see that spike. So that's the first thing, is give it a chance, run it a little bit longer. Okay. Give it the 8 days and see what happens. Other people will say, not only did I not move up after 4 or 5 days, I actually moved down. I went from position 100 to 180. That's normal, guys. That happens. Okay. I've seen this a million times. You'll see your ranking will be, if you're looking at a keyword tracker, it'll be running flat and then it'll drop, right? And then usually the next day or 2 days later, boom, it jumps way up. Now you're on page 1 or page 2. So these weird fluctuations, that's just part of the algorithm. That's the way it works. There's something going on the back end with all the sales data. And remember, Amazon is looking at your trailing history for your product, right? It's looking and seeing, how many sales have you had in the last 24 hours, in the last 48 hours, 72 hours, the last 7 days, the last 2 weeks, the last 30 days. The longer your product's been out, the more trailing history you have, right? You have actual sales history. And that's why it's easier to rank brand new products. A brand new product that just came out has no history, right? There's no sales history. So if you can make it live on Amazon and immediately start your campaign, boom, you don't have to fight all of those 0 days or 1 sales or the really small sale days. You don't have to fight those, because those are all pulling your average down over time. And that's why if you're doing, for example, a relaunch, let's say your product's been out for a year and you're like, man, I'm on page 4. I want to get to page 1. And you do a launch, it takes longer to get back up to page 1. Instead of 8 days, you might have to run it for 20 days, right? Relaunches take longer. You have to run it a long time. The CPR method that we have, the columns that we have inside Magnet and CEREBRO, inside those 2 tools, are for brand new launches, not for relaunches. Okay. Because a relaunch, if you have really poor sales history over the last 90 days, right? And now you're driving all these sales with these coupons and you're spiking it up. All of these poor sales over here are averaging, they're pulling that average down. And it takes a lot of sales over a lot of days to start bringing that average up, right? Does that make sense? Every day that you make a higher sale, the average goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes slowly goes up, and eventually you get to the top. So relaunches are going to take a little longer. Okay. So those are two things, right? People said, oh, I don't see anything after 4 or 5 days. Give it some time. Oh, I saw my ranking actually drop. Give it a little bit longer. Okay. If you're over 8 days and you see it dropped and it hasn't come back up, yeah, maybe there's some kind of a problem. I mentioned new products rank much faster than relaunches or older products, right? That's due to the sales history. And I've also seen people post saying that they ran 8 days and they saw nothing. Like there was no rank change whatsoever. And then come to find out, they didn't use the correct URL. The correct URL is key. You have to use the correct URL. Okay, the URL, the link that you're using, that you're driving traffic to from Facebook or from your email list or a launch service or wherever it is that you're getting all this traffic, has to be a specific link. This link has to have your keyword phrase in there, right? It has to have that, okay? It should be a 2-step URL. That's what we use. That's what we teach, which means that it's not the old super URL. An old super URL means that it was a link that when you clicked it, it had the keywords in there and all that, but it would take you right to your product page immediately, right on your product page where they could click the buy button and buy it. Those don't seem to work very well, okay? Or they didn't. If that's changed, I would love for somebody to update me on that. But Amazon knew people were gaming that, and that doesn't work. So a 2-step URL works a lot better, okay? And there's various versions of 2-step URLs, and I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily create those in just a second. But with a 2-step URL, essentially that link is taking them to the search results page for your storefront, okay? If that makes sense. So there's a drop-down button that you can click on that brings you to your storefront. And if someone types in a keyword in there, it pulls up whatever products have that keyword phrase for your storefront. So it eliminates all the competition. So that's what you're doing. It's going to show the products there. Hopefully it's just one product. It might be 2 or 3 products, or however many products have that keyword. And then when they click that product, okay, that's why they call it a 2-step, because the first step shows it. The second step, they got to click into the product, and then they're on your landing page. Now there's some benefits to this, right? Let's talk about that real quick. The first one is if you're using the traditional super URL, you're driving people directly to your listing, you might be driving a lot of unqualified traffic. People are curious, they click the link, they go to your page and they're like, I don't like this product. And then they bounce out, right? What does that do to your conversion rate? Your conversion rate starts to drop because you're getting traffic, but they're not buying. So the conversion rate starts dropping. So that's bad, right? Amazon doesn't like bad conversion rates. They'll start showing other products instead of yours in the search results because they have better conversion rates. They make Amazon more money per click, okay? So a 2-step URL helps eliminate a lot of that because they're going to see the products first, okay? So even if they click the link from wherever you're advertising and they click the link, now they can see the actual products there on Amazon. They haven't actually clicked into your product page. They just see it's like the search results, right? Now they can decide, do I want to click it? If they click it, then they're going to be much more qualified. They're probably more interested in your product. They're more likely to buy. So that should help the conversion. So that's why you want to do a 2-step URL. There's 2-step organic URLs, 2-step brand URLs, all kinds of stuff. If you don't know how to create a 2-step URL, I talk about that at the helium10.com/launch page. I believe if you want to learn about the CPR formula, helium10.com/CPR talks about that and what the columns mean and all that. I know I'm throwing a lot of links at you guys. Just write them down. They're super valuable. There's a new link that nobody knows about. This is kind of a secret one for our members. And even if you're not a Helium 10 paid member, I'm going to put it out there for you guys so you can use this. This will allow you to create 2-step URLs, brand URLs, all kinds of different things. All right. It's at helium10.com/gems. That's GEMS, gems, like the jewels, right? Helium10.com gems /gems. And that will allow you to create 2-step URLs, all kinds of URLs that you can use in your campaign. So that's just a little freebie. You know, you guys know that Helium 10 was originally created by me back in the day, just to create some tools that helped me. I was offering them for free for a while, and eventually, as you know, more and more people came in and wanted features, and we started expanding out from just 2 tools, 3 tools to now over 20 tools. Then we started charging for the the advanced tools and stuff. And free users can still use some of the stuff. This is this is a page with links that you guys can use for free. Okay. Just my way of giving back. I know it's helpful for you guys. If I can help you guys get really good results with your launches and you can just start bringing that money in, then you're more likely to come in and be, hopefully our avatars there, the lifetime, I should not avatar. I'm forgetting the word, but you're going to be somebody who really likes our tools and uses it and recommends it and crushes it with that. Right. So anyways, let's continue this. I know I'm throwing a lot of things at you and it could be a little bit confusing. One of the questions that people ask, what about full priced sales? Is that better than discounted sales? Right? So there's rebate services out there. There's different things you can do in order to get full price sales versus discounted sales with a coupon code. So do they work better? Probably. Okay. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't used any of the rebate services yet. I don't know. I know that discounted sales work. I've done that. And I've heard people say that full price sales are better, but I haven't actually seen any data out there. Okay. Nobody's presented, as far as I know, any data where they've done a really, really solid, A/B split test where they say, okay, we're going to take two products that are essentially the same, okay, and getting two keyword phrases that are essentially the same. And then we're going to run one through discounted coupons, right, through the two-step URL. And then we're going to run another one through some kind of a rebate system or something with full priced sales and see what works. I would imagine that the full price, if I was Amazon, I'd probably give those a little bit more juice. So I would think that they would rank better, but I don't know. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. If somebody does have this data, I would love to see it, okay, and I would love to test it, and eventually I will, and I will present the findings to you guys. I always like to get out there and see what's working and what's not, but I want to at least bring this to your attention so that you know that this kind of thing does exist, and people. I mean, full price sales are awesome if you can drive the traffic to do that. Again, the reason we offer discounted coupons is because we need to get that sales velocity. We need to hit a certain number of sales per day, and we can do that with discounts. If you're trying to get full price sales, it's a lot more difficult, right? You got to figure out a way to get, in our example earlier where we had 80 units that we need to give out in 8 days, right? We have to figure out how to get 10 full price sales every single day for 8 days. And that could be difficult if you're just starting out. Okay. So another thing that people talk about is they do a launch and it actually is successful, right? They get to the number one position for that keyword phrase, but they're not making any sales. They're like, I don't know. I'm not making any sales. Why is this? Okay. And then they say, these discounted product launches don't work. Well, it worked, right? They got to the number one spot. Okay, that's not the issue. What is the issue? You've got to look at the underlying problem. Why are you not generating sales, right? The first thing I would look at is, well, did you pick the right keyword phrase? Okay, do you have a keyword phrase that, one, has sufficient search volume, right? Are you using a tool like Magnet 2, all right, and Helium 10 to see what the search volume is? Because most of the tools that are out there, and almost all of them, have incorrect search volume. Okay, they're using Bing data, they're using Google data, they're using some other search engine. They're not using data from Amazon. Magnet is using Amazon data. Okay, you actually have search volume, exact phrase search volume. So have you checked the search volume? If you're using it for some other tool and going, you know what, they say that it gets 10,000 searches per month, right? And then if you were to type that same keyword into Magnet and then you find out, oh my God, it only gets 600 searches per month, then you just ranked very easily, by the way, because that keyword didn't take anything to rank for, and you're not getting any search volume, okay? But let's just say that that's not the case, okay? Let's just say that you know what the keyword phrase is. Like if I'm selling tactical flashlights, I know that tactical flashlight is probably a pretty good keyword, and I would do a search in Magnet, right? And I would see what the search volume is anyways, just to confirm it. So let's say I confirmed it and I'm number one. I got to the number one, right? I gave all these units away. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Why am I not making any sales? Okay. The first thing would be, what's my price? Look at everybody that's below me. Number 2 spot, number 3 spot, number 4 spot. Excuse me. Are their listings better? Is what I see in the search results better than my listing? Right? is my price better than theirs? So if suddenly I'm in the number one spot and my price is $25 for my product, right? And everybody else below me is at $19.97 or lower, right? And the products are similar. Who do you think people are going to click on? Who are they going to buy? They might click into my product just to see what it is. And if they don't see there's any reason why my product should be $25 compared to everybody else at 19, like there's no significant value proposition there, something that makes my product better, they're going to bounce out. They're going to click into it and they're going to bounce out and they're going to go into another product and they're going to buy. Now, what signal has this just sent to Amazon? Okay. It shows that someone clicked in my product and they left. They didn't buy, but they happened to click into the number 2 product or the number 3 product and they bought. So now Amazon's gone, okay. Well, let's reduce the rank juice of this product, okay, your product, the number 1 product for this keyword phrase, because that's what they search for, a little bit, and let's raise the ones where they actually purchase in. So eventually, you're going to start falling, right, because you're not making those sales, and eventually you will fall off page 1 if that's the case. So you have to get your pricing correct. The second thing is images. Do you have your images dialed in? Like awesome. They've got to be awesome. Not awesome to you, awesome to everybody else. And I'll tell you a little way that you can actually test this. But are your images incredible? Okay. If they're not, people aren't going to click into your product. Even if you're in the number 1 spot, if your image looks garbagey and the number 2, number 3, number 4 images look amazing, they're going to skip yours. They're going to click in to the other ones and you're just not going to get the clicks. And then again, Amazon is going to start de-ranking you. It's going to throw you down. So you're not getting any sales because your images are poor. Man, if you're taking your iPhone, right, or your phone, and you're actually taking a snapshot of your products, right, and you don't know that much about lighting and angles, and it just looks terrible, you're killing yourself. Why even start? You shouldn't even be in this business, right? Use a professional company. If you've got a professional photographer friend, use them. If you want to use pixelperfectphotography.com, that's who I use. That's a company that we set up for photography. Okay, so you're guaranteed to get really, really good stuff. Use a photography service that can really give you really, really good product images. Okay, not only your thumbnail, but the lifestyle images. And once you get them to click in, you want your other images to actually drive that sale. So you got to have incredible images. Okay, really good images. The third thing would be not having enough reviews. Okay, if you launch and you have no reviews, you can get to page 1, top of page 1 with no reviews. What's going to happen when everybody else below you has reviews, right? I don't buy products with 0 reviews. I don't trust them, okay? Especially if they're at the top of the search results. I'm not going to do that. I've launched products with only 2 reviews, and I've done really well. I've got them up there. But I didn't launch, in most cases, I didn't launch into a niche where every other competitor below me has 1,500 reviews, right? So you have to pick your battles, okay? If you're going to go in with only 2 reviews, 3 reviews, then make sure that everybody else that's on page 1 for that keyword phrase, right? And you can type in that keyword phrase right now before you launch and see what your competition is going to be. Where will you be, or what's going to be there on page 1? How many reviews do they all have? Is it crazy? Is it ridiculous? Is it going to be such a massive difference that people won't buy your product? So think about that, right? The reviews have got to be in line. Also, let's just say you have reviews. What is your review rating? Okay, is your review rating, if everybody else is at 5 and you're at a 4, 4 is good, but not if everybody else is at 5. So that's going to affect you. You want to make sure that your images just look phenomenal, okay? And one way that you can do this, by the way, is you can take Photoshop, okay, and you can cut out your product listing, okay, and you can paste it right over, let's say, the number 2 spot for that search term. Do a search for it, bring up the thing, take a screenshot of that, bring up your listing, grab a Photoshop of that little snippet, right, of your listing, and then Photoshop it right into position number 2, and then save that image. And then, so it looks like you're actually in position number 2, okay, for that search term, for all this stuff. And then start showing that to people that you know. Okay, forget about what you think. Show it to other people and say, hey, without them knowing what your product is, which product would you click on? Which product would you click on? What would you get into? And if they're not clicking on you, if they're not saying, I choose number 2, that one right there, yours. Oh, they wouldn't know it's yours, but that one. Then there's a problem, right? You need to go back to the drawing board. You got to figure out, why are they choosing whichever one that they clicked on, or they're saying they're going to click on, and ask them why. Why are you clicking on that one? Well, I like the image better. Oh, I like the price better. Or this one has whatever it is, it has the bestseller badge, right? Oh, okay, that's super important, right? If you're going up against a bunch of companies or products that have bestseller badges for that particular keyword phrase, you're going to be running into some trouble, especially if you don't have that. What about the little clip coupons, the ones that they're orange and they say save 5%, save 10%. Do you have that on your listing? If not, you should, right? Especially if nobody else does. And right now, almost nobody has those, right? The top guys, the guys that are crushing it, they have that. They know, forget about the 5% discount. That really doesn't affect them that much. But it's a little orange button that separates your image, your result, your listing on the search result pages from everybody else, right? You're on there, okay, with that little thing. It just draws the eye. And honestly, less than half of the people that actually click into a listing that has a coupon even redeem it. So you're not even spending that much by having it. So do you have that? Okay. I mentioned earlier, choosing keywords is super important. What if you chose the wrong keyword? What if you are ranked to number one for the wrong keyword because you didn't use a good tool like Magnet to find the appropriate keyword that not only is super relevant to your listing, to your product, but also has the traffic that you need in order to get the conversion rates, right? To get enough sales. Remember, if you use Magnet, it's going to give you a lot of different ideas. And it's not always about going after the number one most searched for keyword phrase, right? If I have tactical flashlight, I'm guessing that the most searched for term would be flashlight as an example, or something like that. Not tactical flashlight, but flashlight's very generic, right? Nightlight probably gets a lot, but nightlights could be a garage door opener light. It could be a lot of stuff. I want tactical flashlight, or I want something along those lines of that phrase, if my flashlight that I'm selling is actually a tactical flashlight. Now, if it's a regular flashlight, going after tactical flashlight doesn't make sense, right? I'm going to probably have to dial it down to what it is. If it's a red flashlight and people are searching for red flashlights, that's a good match, right? People want red flashlights. I got a red flashlight. Most of the other flashlights out there are black, right? Or silver. So mine's red. So I can really, if I can get to number one for red flashlight, maybe the sales volume is way lower. Maybe it only gets 1,500 searches per month, exact match, right? That's 1,500 potential sales that I can get for myself if I can dominate, with my images, with my title, with my pricing, with everything else. If I can just crush what everybody else has, there's a lot of factors there, right? But again, compare your listing to everybody else's. Would you pick yours? If you're looking at that Photoshop thing that I just told you about, and you're like, I'm not sure, I'm not absolutely sure I would click on mine. Again, your listing's not ready. You got to go back and figure something out with your listing. Okay, so I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff in here, guys. What would be another thing? We talked about the ratings, making sure you have a few ratings at least, looking at what your competitors have. And let me give you here's a really good one with reviews that people just don't get. I had somebody, and I actually helped them out. I felt bad about their scenario, and they could not figure it out. They said, I'm going to throw some numbers out there that might be close. I don't remember the exact details. It was a while back, but they're like, I've got, 30 reviews. Okay. Before my launch, I've got a 4.5 star rating. Okay. So it's really good. My images are dialed in and all that. And so they shared their ASIN with me. I checked it out. And at first glance, I looked and I'm like, wow, it looks really good. The images are awesome. The pricing was good. Everything looked from the outside looked fantastic, right? Compared to everybody else. I'm like, this one should be making sales. I was actually going, oh man, I'm going to get stumped on this one. Then I go down, I actually clicked into the product. I started to go down and I go look at the reviews. And yes, they had a 4.5 review average. But what was at the very, very top of the reviews? It was a 1-star review, and it was a video review of their product right at the top. And people, of course, when they see stuff like that, they're thankful that, that video was out. So they didn't buy the product. So they like it or whatever, they upvote it, whatever you want to call it. And so it sticks, it keeps getting stuck up there. So no matter what happens, all the traffic that was coming in was interested. They scroll down, and the very first review they see is a video review that everybody watches. That is a 1-star review that is just tearing the product apart. That is the death of that product. That just murders your conversions. Okay. It's horrible. So scenarios like that, when someone posts on a Facebook group and says, oh, it's not working, maybe they have something like that and nobody knows because nobody wants to share what their products are. There's so many different factors out there, right, that could contribute to why you're not getting any sales. Okay. Again, do you have that clip coupon code? Okay. Even if it's 5%, it's going to drive the eyes. The eyes are going to go to that and they'll click into your listing, hopefully. You need to be running pay-per-click. It's another thing. Sponsored ads, another thing people don't do. Run sponsored ads heavily, exact match for whatever phrase that you're going for during a launch. Okay, that's going to help you get to the number one spot. It's also going to help you hold that spot after you stop your promotions, because suddenly you went from like 10 sales a day during the launch, let's say, and then it's boom, it's zero. You're hoping for organic sales, but they might not be there yet. So drive sales with pay-per-click. Okay, and also I run pay-per-click. I mean, I'm running it heavily. I don't care what the ACOS is. I'm running it at a loss in the beginning for that exact phrase match for that keyword that I'm going after. That's what I do. But I'm also running pay-per-click. I got an auto campaign running that's reasonable. I'll start moving things around and running manual campaigns on specific phrases as well as I start seeing what's working. I might want to be using the keyword data from Magnet and just run manual campaigns on those. And those I'm looking at the ACOS. But if you can drive sales from all over the place, right, that's going to hold. It's going to hold you up there. Okay, so the final thing that I want to talk about, and I'm going to actually do a whole different podcast and video and everything on this, is BSR. Okay, people say, man, I don't get it. You know, my BSR is higher than this other product, but they're outranking me on the search results. It doesn't make sense. Just want to mention that BSR and search results are two totally different things. Okay, BSR is your ranking overall for your product, right? I want to make that clear. It's for your product overall. That's every keyword, every sale generates a BSR. That's what your overall sales rank. Okay. Keyword ranking is your search results position based off of that one keyword phrase only. Okay. Has nothing to do with your BSR total sales. Okay. Imagine this. You could have somebody that has a much worse BSR than your product. So you're outranking them on BSR, which means your BSR is actually lower, right? Because number one's the best BSR you can have, and 100,000 BSR would be terrible. But let's say you have a really low BSR, and then your competitor, they're in a worse position. Their BSR is higher, but they're outranking you for a keyword, okay, in the search results. That just means that they're selling more. They're generating more sales through that keyword than you are. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're generating more sales overall. You are, because your BSR is better, right? But for that one keyword phrase, they've got something dialed in and they're making more sales on it, so they're outranking you in that position. So I just want to throw that out there, because I know a lot of people talk about BSRs and I don't get this BSR is here and I got a better BSR and they're outranking me. Amazon must be changing things. No, that's the way it's always been, guys. It's always been like that. So yeah, that's it, guys. I was actually going to turn this into like a 5-minute little rant, I guess, on why launches still work, but there's different ways of doing launches, right? There's discounted launches, there's full price launches. What we're seeing now is that launches typically will take longer. Maybe it takes longer than 8 days. My buddy, Mike McClary, he teaches a launch process called LBR, where he actually drives a lot of traffic from different places. He feels that, driving traffic, instead of it all coming from just one place, let's say like Facebook or just from a launch service, drive it from everywhere, right? From Facebook and AdWords and organic stuff from Google and your list and any way that you can do it. And that signals Amazon to give you a better rank, better juice. And he also feels that you should go longer. Like it's longer than 8 days. I think it was about double that. So try that, right? The guy is super smart. He's crushing it. There's not just one way to do everything, guys. Okay. Just get out there, experiment. Don't give up so fast. 5 days is not enough for a launch. Okay. Especially if it's not a new product, you're going to have to go a couple weeks. Okay. If it's a brand new product, give it at least a week before and make sure that you put the keyword in keyword tracker so you know where your starting position was and you can see every day where the rank goes. Okay, guys. So with that said, I hope you learned something here. I'd love to hear comments and what you think. Obviously, things change all the time. If something I said is not accurate anymore or is not as effective as I say it is, or you've got additional parameters and strategies that work, I'd love to hear them, okay? Because I'm learning with you guys and there are changes all the time. But until next time, my name is Manny Coats and keep on crushing it. Take care.
Hey, I have a game changer for you. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me what tool can they now trust and use for reverse ASIN searches. Well, I have good news. I'm incredibly happy to announce an insanely awesome new tool called CEREBRO. CEREBRO, that's the Spanish word for brain, and that's what this thing is. It's a keyword brain. CEREBRO is the newest and most powerful tool in the Helium 10 software suite for Amazon sellers, and it's the only reverse ASIN that I'm ever going to use at this point. It's insane. Honestly, try it and you'll see for yourself. CEREBRO is fast, really fast, like really, really fast. Just enter a competitor's ASIN and bam, within seconds, you get back tons of keywords. It's crazy, okay? But it gets better. CEREBRO is free for everybody. That's right, guys. It's free. If all you want is keywords and you don't want to get any other data other than keywords, you don't need to go anywhere else and pay for reverse ASINs anymore. Okay? Let me say that again. You do not need to go anywhere else and pay for reverse ASIN searches ever. Okay? Forget about other tools. Everybody, that's everybody, gets 2 free uses per day on CEREBRO. So that's 60 ASIN searches per month for free. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So I've mentioned the word free a few times now, but we do have paid plans as well. If making money is an important part of your business plan, then paid members can use the CEREBRO IQ score. Okay, we call it the CEREBRO IQ score, and that shows you which keywords have the best ratio of search volume to total competing products. This is a game changer, guys. So I want to know which keywords I can rank number 1 for and know the exact volume of sales I need per day to achieve that. And you can watch my ranking strategy video once you are signed into CEREBRO. Okay, watch that video by clicking the blue Learn button. And then you'll be able to figure out how I actually do my ranking and get number 1 rankings for the keywords that I want. Now, paid users can also see the most accurate search volume data I've ever seen for keywords, allowing you to make smart decisions on which keywords to use in your listings. This is why I said I don't use any other tools now for keywords, just CEREBRO. And in the past, I've said that. I said, go out there and use a bunch of different keyword tools, including ours, so that you can get a lot of data. No longer the case. I'm not saying that. CEREBRO is all you need. Trust me on this, okay? I'm redoing all of my listings now with the data from CEREBRO, and I'm going to be talking about the results that I get from these changes in future podcasts. I would love to see you as a paid Helium 10 member, but remember, everybody gets 60 ASIN searches per month for free. That's 2 per day. That's the way we set it up. So if all you want is up to 2,000 keywords per ASIN without any other analytics data, boom, you're set. If you're a power user that wants to crush your competition, then upgrade to the gold, the platinum, the diamond plan, and get all of the analytics. That's what I do. That's what all the big guys crushing it on Amazon are doing. Okay, so you can try CEREBRO today at helium10.com. Remember, it's free if you'd like. And please be a superstar, okay? Go out there and let other Amazon sellers know that they can now get reverse ASIN searches for free. Okay, they don't have to go and pay for them anywhere else. For free with CEREBRO, and that's at helium10.com.
You've been listening to the AMPM Podcast, hosted by Manny Coats. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.